Hey guys, alright, so the video down below is from AL.com, that's Alabama.com, and they were reporting that this Trump baby blimp had come to visit Tuscaloosa, and of course, a couple days later, it was popped. This gentleman was prosecuted, I believe, for vandalism, and he put up a GoFundMe account. He's already raised um, tens of thousands of dollars, so good for him. And I have to say that this is the only time that the left has really cared about a quote unquote baby getting destroyed, because these people are often on the forefront of the effort to normalize abortion, which we all know is murder. Abortion is murder of the unborn. And a little side note here, those who aren't aware of what Planned Parenthood is all about, Planned Parenthood was started by the Bush family back during the World War II era, and they created the program in order to engineer society that would work in their favor. So they worked to reduce the rates, birth rates, that is, of blacks, Hispanics, and poor whites. And poor whites would include Slavs, Spaniards, Italians, Polish, Greeks, basically anybody that wasn't Aryan or Waspish. So Portuguese, I mean, you could go on and on and on about the different demographics that were affected in this, those who fall under the category of poor whites. And it wasn't until later on that they discovered that the harvesting of baby parts became a very lucrative business, not just for adrenochrome harvesting, but also for stem cell research, as well as other things. I mean, you even had Sandra Bullock come out a few months back and brag about how she used foreskin to rub on her face for some type of revitalizing agent. This was on Ellen's show. You can find that easily here on YouTube. These people are sick, but these these people were very upset that this Trump baby balloon got busted, got popped by this very heroic man, in my opinion. And he said a really good point. He said, yes, this is the only time that the left really cares about a baby getting destroyed. And I saw pictures of the aftermath. I mean, they literally had a police detail come out there and establish a crime scene as if the downed baby blimp was an actual dead body. I mean, this is very clown worldish, and I had a laugh about it, but it's also very sad to know that this is the only time that they're balking at this type of thing happening. And obviously, this is not a tragic event. This is an amorphic, is that the correct word? Amorphic, I'm screwing up on the word right now. Basically, an object that's not alive being destroyed. So there's a bit of a pathetic fallacy there saying, well, it was a real baby, blah, blah, blah. But these people are not really concerned about real babies getting killed. But yeah, I think that, and I disagree with people like Tim Pool. I mean, this happened already. I think this actually happened in the United Kingdom, where a woman had popped this baby Trump blimp. And I don't know if this is associated with the same company. There's this company called the Trump Baby Tour, and they have 6 balloons. Well, now 5. I'm not sure whether they had 7 before the one got popped in the UK, and now I guess they have 5 now because the one in Alabama got popped. But I disagree with people like Tim Pool, because he was saying, well, this is just ammunition for the left. They're going to use this and say that the right is a very unhinged aspect of our society, and then whenever something happens that they disagree with, they'll utilize violence in order to get their way. The difference is that this is not an actual living being. This is a blimp. On the other hand, you have Antifa basically braining those who they disagree with. We had that professor back in the day who had taken a U-lock, which are it's a very sturdy object, and it hit a man over the head with it. And these people hadn't even interacted, but the fact that he was on the other side warranted an attack on him, and luckily the guy survived. But very sadly, this professor, had his sentence dropped. I think he probably only had to do community service. But I continue to say that karma will have a way of dealing punishment to those who do bad and rewarding those who do good. So all the violence as far as I know, is coming from the left. I don't buy that white supremacy is on the rise amongst those on the right. These shooters that are going out, like the one at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. And we've even had instances of these shooters being lefties, like Bernie supporters. That one down in, I think it was either Texas or Florida back in the later parts of summer. For the most part, all the violence is coming from the left. And a lot of these people, and you say that they're white, but they're not actually white. They're a different demographic. And I won't say which demographic because I don't want to get this video put into limited state. But look at the guy Katz, who David Katz, I believe, was his name. Well, let's just say that they hail from this race, not whites. Violence from the whites is not on the rise. If there is any instances of this, yeah, they are. Of course, there are going to be white criminals, but they're not the majority. We all know that the majority of crimes being committed from people here in the United States are from black people. They say it's 15% of the population which is committing 50% of the crime. Now, this doesn't mean that all black people are bad. It just means that those who are clumped up in the inner cities tend to have that pack mentality. They kind of monkey see, monkey do, so they go out and do what they think is right, which is committing acts of violence as well as acts of robbery, burglary, rape, et cetera, et cetera. And this is happening all over the world. Don't kid yourselves. So anyways, I'm getting off topic here. I disagree with Tim Pool. I mean, he is completely wrong in saying that this is a bad thing that happened. This has started the conversation in terms of pointing out the hypocrisy of those on the left in terms of harming babies, because, like I said, this is not an actual baby. This is a baby blimp. It's I'm still screwing up on the name. Amorphic, I want to say. Inanimate object, and of course they're very upset about that. Meanwhile, many babies are getting killed in through the means of abortion. Can I just say one thing too? I was listening to an alt-right broadcast about a year within the last year. I don't remember what it was, but there was, and I'm not going to say who it was, but there was this guy who considers himself to be part of the alt-right, part of the white well-being sect of YouTube. But he had actually praised the efforts of Planned Parenthood because he had said in his mind that this has protected his people from becoming extinct. And I'm very upset about that. When people are advocating for the murder of the unborn, doesn't matter what your reason is, that is a very condemnable action. And it is very sad that somebody of such intelligence would have said something so disgusting. So I have to condemn that, of course. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless, and I will see you guys later.